Hello, and welcome back to our video series on Power BI Basics. Today we're going to be covering the table and the column properties in the data model view. If you haven't watched any of the earlier videos in this series, please do. This video series is a series that I'm making to teach you how to use Power BI from the ground up. There's quite a few videos before this one in the series, and I'd be happy to have you watch. All right, today we're going to be talking about the properties section in the data model view. So I'm currently in the sales and return sample dashboard file that Microsoft has on their GitHub. If you Google sales and return sample v 2019-12, it'll come up. And if you click into model view, what you can then go ahead and do is you can actually set properties about tables and columns. And these properties are important to the modeling of the table. So first, let's review what table properties you can set. So if you select right here, so if you select a table and then expand properties, you can set the name of the table. You can give the table a brief description, which can then be used during AI kind of things. You can give it a synonym. I always struggle pronouncing that. But so like different misspellings or something. So if someone's searching for a table, it'll pop up. You can select a row label, and so this is the row that's supposed to be most descriptive of what the table contains. So in this case, it would be age. You can then also select a key column. So if you're working with a database where you might have a primary key or unique identifier in the table, this is where you can then select that key column. So in this case, I can select age. You can also then set if the table's hidden, so if people can see it in the model, or if it's a featured table, which means that if someone was connecting to the Power BI model via Excel, the table would pop up and say, hey, this table's featured in the semantic model. And if you click this edit button right here, you can go ahead and you can also select those specific settings for if it's a featured table in Excel. Finally, it's going to be grayed out, but you can also typically in advanced mode select the storage mode, so how the table is actually entering into Power BI, so that can be import, direct query. There's also a dual and incremental refresh, although I don't think you can set them in this specific view. So that's a quick overview of table properties. Well, it might not seem like much. These are really important because these allow you to actually kind of set the metadata of your semantic model, which will be key when someone who's not you comes and looks at it and tries to understand what you've built. All right, let's look at column properties. So column properties, we have kind of the same similar general properties. So you're going to have the name of the column. You're going to have where you can type in a description of the column. We'll have an age ID, or sorry, a synonym. So like here you can see they've said age and then also set it to age ID. You can also give it a folder name, which you can group your columns or your measures into folders. So like for example, right here, I can give it a folder name of hidden, right? And you'll see it actually creates a hidden folder. And if you want to add another column to that folder, as long as I spell it the same, you'll see they'll both go under that folder right here. You can then also, like, and I know I use the word hidden for the folder, but you can then also hide the column, which would mean that if someone connects to your model via Excel, they can't see it, and that'll be this little eye icon right here. You can also then set specifics regarding the data in the column. So in this case, age is set to a whole number, but you can set the data type. You can set the format, so you can either give it a custom formatting string, which is something we covered when we were looking at DAX, or you can use one of kind of these preset ones. You can also set if it's a percent, if it should or shouldn't have the thousands formatter, and how many decimal places it can have. Finally, in the advanced section, we have a few other key features. So first, you can set the sort column. So sorting in Power BI with columns is something that's really tricky. You can set the sort here. You can also then categorize the data. So for example, Power BI will treat certain data types or values specifically. So you can set that by clicking this right here. So like if it was a barcode or an image or a web link, you can set that and Power BI will configure it. And finally, you can choose the sum. So this is how Power BI will try to aggregate this column by default when you drag it or someone were to add it into a new visual. And then last but not least, you can set if the column can contain nulls. So at a super high level, these are the properties that you can set for a table or a column. You also can set some additional properties for a measure. So I said we were going to cover the properties for a table or a column. I'm tricking you. I'm going in one more. You can also set the properties for a measure. So a measure, you can set the name. You can set the home table, which is where that table might live. A description. You can also create a description using Copilot, which you might need to have kind of features in. Here you can set kind of the synonyms, so like, what it might be. You can also put the measures in a folder, kind of going through. You can also set all the formatting, and then in data category, you can again set the data category. All right. That has been a brief overview of the Power BI model view properties. If you have any questions or if you're running into any problems, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I will be happy to get back to you. And if not, thank you for tuning in. All right, bye.